Welcome to my hands-on Star Wars Outlaws preview. We have tons of stuff covering it, and today we're going to dive into a mission and just kind of go over some things that I might have left out in some of the previous videos. We covered some of my overall impressions. We covered some of the faction things. I got into the open world. Now we're going to go into a mission and get into what I felt and seen and how I feel these missions are turning out and the way the system is working and what you're going to be doing, and get into minor things that I might have missed in those videos. So lock in for that. A reminder, I have giveaways for the community in the comments, so check that out. Join us and leave comments as well so that you have a chance to win. I want to give a shout out to Ubisoft, partnering with them to be able to make this content. They gave me the chance to have a remote preview event for 4 hours. I played on mouse and keyboard, which isn't my favorite. I actually never play on mouse and keyboard, but jumped in and shook the rust off and tried to give you all some gameplay. So you're about to watch that right now. Let's get into it. We're going to discuss what I experienced. I want to kind of share the overall thing with these missions and how I feel it's going to be very easily accessible for anybody. I didn't have a problem, even though I'm not capable of playing at all on mouse and keyboard. I did very well just for a rookie keyboard and mouse player who pretty much has less than 20 hours on keyboard and mouse ever. Pretty much, I pretty much don't play any games on. But I did find that a lot of this gameplay, everything flowed smooth and they didn't have flaws when it comes to some of the stealth and when it comes to the action as well. Felt very well put together. I will note that it wasn't something that was revolutionary, that I felt like it was the pioneer experience that you might want from Star Wars, from any game. It wasn't something brand new that I felt like was game breaking, but it was exactly what I thought it would be. And they didn't have any flaws or issues. And so I got to give them credit for that. And they really done that well. The reason I say I give them credit is because, there was a lot of skepticism in this game. And I don't see the skepticism. I understand that graphics, people kind of make a big deal out of it nowadays. And it is important, but the graphics don't look bad. If you're watching this, I am, of course, I'm uploading it on YouTube, so it might be compressed. But from the gameplay I have in my hand, that this is my personal gameplay. The gameplay might not look good as far as my actual keyboard and mouse skills, but the visuals look great for a game that I'm going to be playing in 2024. Do I think it's winning game of the year, graphics of the year? Probably not. So for me, that's not a concern, and it's not a hindering to this experience for me. It looks well put together. The areas are impeccable as far as like locations, Star Wars feel, and all of that good stuff. I absolutely loved it and cannot wait to get more of that. And then on top of that, gameplay wise, it was zero wrong with this game. There wasn't like, oh, this game's mechanics are broken, they don't play well, they don't synergize well or anything like that. So super cool. I just wanted to stress that out at first. And as you can see, I'm fumbling around trying to see if I can glitch my way through, but we end up getting through the vault and experiencing this. There's plenty of things in here for me that I feel people might love or hate, right? Going through an event, climbing a ladder, jumping with a grapple hook, or climbing up, some wall. Is that a big deal? Is it the greatest thing? No, but it's a part of gaming and finding your way to areas. I don't have to go through one area. I can build relationships and go straight through the doors of enemies. Or I can do what you see here where we end up manipulating certain situations and playing it differently. So it depends on you, the player, and how you want to go about it. and that is good. The fact that they give you options and that you can try and stealth things or get caught like me looking miserable and and deciding to try to practice the fighting. Is my first time really trying to swing at something, and I said, "Hey, let him kill me." And I honestly, literally did say, "Let's start this over." Now I'm gonna fast forward that because I had to redo it. We're gonna move on to things like this, which some people might not like or might like. This is a rhythm based unlock of the doors, and you basically have to click, click, follow the lead, and open it at the exact same time. Can be very easy, honestly, but for some it might not be so. You gotta, if you know how to dance, you might be able to do this. You know what I mean? But yeah, so then they have you in these missions where you're infiltrating, and this is the most interesting stuff, right? If I stealth things, my relationship with that faction might not be so bad. But if I don't stealth, they're going to probably dislike me. So there's certain things you want to do, things that you don't want to do, and it made it very, very intense. And again, the mechanics are so good. I wish I was better at it. I was trying, but I remember keyboard and mouse. I don't even know what button to press on the keyboard, where to hold my fingers. I was pressing the wrong button every time. I'm trying to call Nix to sick him, waiting. And these are the type of things that I do with stealth games. I like to watch the patrols, figure out which way to go, use all of my mechanics, distract them, and do things like that. I can't wait to play this on controller. But overall, the game didn't feel like it was flawed in that regard when it comes to the mechanics. And that's where I'm like, okay, you guys are not doing bad here. You designed it well. And to be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect because Massive Entertainment did The Division and it had no stealth in it. And then they created Avatar, which had some stealth, but it wasn't like some revolutionary stealth. It was just like, oh, they can't see you, now they can. And this one is a lot more detailed. They have like an alarm system. They have, you know, caution system where you can manipulate it a certain way. You can see right there, I did take him down, but the guy behind him did not go so well. And so these are the lessons I was actually learning on how capable are you of punching someone up close, and you basically can't. You have to shoot them. So I ruined that, but then it turns into an action game, which a lot of people are probably going to play this way, and you can do it, and capable. There's a lot of weapons and tools. I stuck with the handgun. There's grenades. There's a whole bunch of other things you can use to your disposal. A lot of tools, more than you would think, for this character, and I liked it. I like that a lot. Being able to figure things out in this game, super cool for me to try and learn from what they're doing. And so, for example, one of the biggest questions was, "Hey, she only has a blaster," and it's like, "No, she consistently picks up all of these weapons." And you're gonna see me kind of clear the room from the scenario here easily because I have this assault rifle and all the good stuff. So you can definitely feel the well designed area and well designed scenarios that you're put in. And so personally, I'm excited for that. I think that they're doing a good job. Now I want to kind of step away from the mission, allow you guys to see some of it, but discuss the things that are still in question. What type of story are we getting? Kay's just like us. She's new to the underworld, which is actually awesome, right? Like if we played Han Solo, he knows everything. You don't need a tutorial guide for him. You don't need to question who is that, what are they doing, or so she's actually very much like us. She's vulnerable, she's new, she's trying to figure all this out herself. And I love that. I actually found that interesting and wanted to see more from her and what that story can bring for us as a whole. And so I love it. I do think that um it's Star Wars, right? And we all expect sabers and Sith and Jedi, and I think that getting the underworld story was needed. I don't remember a video game having this as the core open world experience that we're about to get. So I'm excited about it. I'm interested, and I cannot wait. And speaking of cannot wait, things that I disliked was things like this. Unlocking the doors and this right here. It isn't my favorite thing in the game. And I'm sure a lot of people will be like, you know, this is something that for some reason a lot of video games have. It's like we want to throw some type of puzzle for you to open a door or some type of puzzle for you to access a computer. And this isn't bad. The thing is that it's not bad because it's not hard. It's not like a long process that you have to go through. So I can respect what they're doing. And it's not like I was like, oh, this is ridiculously hard, or it just doesn't feel like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we're just so used to just running and gunning in video games, right? But I personally never been that big on those small little mini puzzles. I love puzzle games, by the way. It's just it doesn't feel like it's like something. Maybe if it was hard, I might like it more, or I hate it more. And so the question is, what do you guys feel about those? I've showcased the door, I showcased the puzzle for accessing, encrypted files and things like that. Those are the key two things that I found that kind of wasn't for me. It was like, you know what? Like everything else, can we skip this? Can we get to the good stuff? And so kind of learned how to just ignore them in video games and kind of, if I don't have to open it, I'm not going to open it. Actually, to the point where I've purposely just completely avoided the mission. And we're going to skip ahead so you can see some action and see me go wild. And I purposely ran out in the open in this scenario just to see if how tanky can she be. And I mean, she's pretty tanky. And this isn't early in the game, by the way. This is later in the game. You can see she's not doing well. And I'm going to do the mission officially in a second. But the reason I showcased this was you are somewhat of a tank. If you're able to survive that, you're going to be able to really go guns blazing and not just, you know, suck and be a soft, you know, rookie. Because she is a rookie, but she's tough. I mean, you can build her up pretty tanky. And you can see right there another failed attempt. But the point is you also get things in here that make you stronger. So they do drop a lot of weapons, and you're capable of doing good if you take the time and figure the game out. So for me, I was like, okay, got put in the situation where I had to escape, and this is always fun, right? In video games where you're escaping. And I didn't have a problem with it, even though I was on keyboard and mouse, and I felt pretty confident and at ease with the way they set it up. I only used this weapon, but I had more in store that I could have used. Again, this is a preview, so I was kind of new to it all, and I didn't pull out all my weaponry, my smoke grenades, and all the stuff that I have. But definitely can tell that they were trying to take it to that next level and stuff like that. Got a little brave here, as you can see. Just being a madman sometimes um, can work out or it can destroy you. So I tried, guys. I tried. And learning how to slide, that was my first time sliding. And the reason I'm guiding y'all through this is because this is how, you test things and you see what the game might have to offer for different type of players and so on. So this is the running gun, just straight up be tanky. Very bad, I would say. I cannot wait to get a controller player uh video of this. I'm gonna be streaming this game when it releases, so y'all be ready for it. It'd be fun. You guys can tell I don't even know how to crouch. I'm literally learning to crouch as I go, learning to heal and all that good stuff. Oh man, this is insane. But yeah, so that's the type of situation you can put yourself in, and I think that you're a scoundrel stuck in bad situations, doing all these missions and all this cool stuff, and I promise you, you know, story wise, they're very intriguing aspects when it comes to the syndicates and the scenarios that they're in. Remember, this is like during the syndicate war phase of Star Wars, and I'm gonna show you guys a quick snippet of me finding weapons all over the floor on these counters, and they basically just. I think the game said, "Hey, we want to put this on easy mode. You got all the rifles," and I basically took an enemy out, got his rifle. There's another one right there that I pick up after I waste all this ammo. This is me attempting it I've attempted this 4 times. The first time I ran out there just to see how tanky she was. The second time, I think you guys just saw. Then now this is the third time where I kind of decided I'm gonna really play it safe, play smart. I'm not gonna mess up. And I picked up the second rifle, which I wanted to be overpowered here, and get into the action as we go. So, anyways, that is the breakdown on some of this game. I personally really enjoyed it, had a good time with the overall experience. I feel like any Star Wars fans would love to get lost in the world. There's the crime syndicate underworld where everybody's plotting and you're plotting and just pretty amazing. Then there's all the cameos, Star Wars stuff in there. Very awesome. I also had the open world video that I broke down some of that, and it'd probably be very interesting to you. So I hope you guys can go check that out and see that next. It should be popping up on your screen. By the way, I do got the giveaways for you guys in the comments, so check that out as well. Lock in with me so that we can play this together when it releases. We appreciate you guys. See you on the next